Hello everybody, Brandon Parker, back again with another tutorial. This time this tutorial is going to be on Adobe Premiere Pro, showing you the basics of editing inside of Adobe Premiere Pro, going more into depth than what I did in my first tutorial, talking about it, which was pretty long and some people were complaining about it, saying it was a little boring and that I didn't know how to use it. So I'm going to explain to you a little more and actually show you some more of how I actually know how to use this. So let's get right into it and explain some of the things I didn't do in my first tutorial. Basics. So color correcting, I'm going to show you this first. Okay. Show you how I did this. So let's get started. And I have the clip right here with no effects. Same clip as this one, and I'm not going to show you exactly, but pretty close, because some of the effects I have, not everybody has them. Like the magic bullet effects is what I used to get this colored a little bit and to get it to look the way that I wanted. And also another thing, you can see that this is not to the actual size of the project. It should be the project size. When you open this up and you go, let's go to File, New, Project. If you go to New, and we're going to save this, yes, okay, and it's going to open this up. This is what opens up first when you do a new project. Untitled, let's just say example, okay. And you want this to be HDV, DV, capture format. Just leave it as that. Go to OK. And then the setting you would have, especially if you have a Mac, you would want DVC Pro HD 1080 24 pixels. So pick that. Settings. And I think on Windows, it doesn't really accept AVI format. You're going to probably want to put it in MOV format. Make sure you have QuickTime Edit with MOV inside of Premiere. It's best to work with that. You can try WMV. That will work on Windows. So either MOV or WMV, best for Adobe Premiere. And then go to OK. And then these are your, this is what will come up, and it should be in HD. And I'll just go to open the same project that I was working with. Okay. And now let's go back to this clip. And when I add effects on here or anything, it's going to have this red bar on it, which means it needs to be rendered. So before we do that, we're going to add the effects we want, which I'm going to do the color correcting first. So double click on this on the preview screen to resize it, and I recommend that it already be in HD size, which is 1280 by 720 or 1920 by 1080. And 1920 by 1080 is a Blu-ray quality size, because it'll start distorting itself if it's not. In HD size. You can see that right here. But I ain't going to do this perfectly for this tutorial. Just giving you an idea. Okay. Now let's go to, next we resized it to the way we want it. Then we're going to go to Effects. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Video Effects, and we want to go to Color Correction. And the best one, since these are the ones that I'm going to be showing you, is the basic ones, since everyone doesn't have what I have, which is the magic bullet ones. But I'll put a link in the description to where you could try those out. They have a tutorial, and they cost like $300 to like $500 for those plugins. And I know they're pretty expensive, but if you're a student or a film student or whatever, or going to college and you They might give you a discount, so just ask for it, because they gave me one. And let's see, color balance. I'll do the 3-way color corrector first. Okay. And I'll go to this. Just make it more blue. Try red for this and blue for this. Or red for this. Okay, and then blue for this. Because you should have some blue. It'll come in a lot better if you had some blue. And maybe blue might be better on the middle, on the mid-tone. And then shadow, put some red. A little bit of red on the shadow. And then play around with the input and levels. A little bit dark. You're going to want a little bit dark. Brighten it up some. To right about there. That looks good. And then you're going to want to bring out some more of the red on his face. So not too much blue is showing, and it still shows that his sweater or shirt, whatever, is still red. Not really red, but brown. Brownish, a little bit brown. And then originally his skin tone is more, that's what it's supposed to look like. And it's still got that film quality to it. And saturation, you can, I really wouldn't mess with the saturation too much. So let's just leave that. It's just going to bring the colors, make them more brighter. If you bring them all the way down, it's going to make it look black. If you brought it up too high, it's going to, you can already see that. So leave it at 100. All of them. You can play around with that yourself. And secondary color correction, I don't really mess with that too much. Anything that has a secondary color correction to mess with, I don't do that. You can yourself if you want. And everything that you're doing, the color correction is never going to be the same, because depending on the lighting of the scene, whatever you shot, it's going to always be different. So you're just going to have to play around with the settings until you find what your sweet spot is, what you like based on what you shot and what your footage looks like. And it takes some time. This is probably the longest part of editing, is playing around with the color, getting the film look, getting that nice color to where it looks like it belongs there. And I'll put this back at 15. Put this back at 15. And I'll put this at 15 as well. Okay. Leave this at, I guess, 50. Okay. And the master, if you want to change that, it's going to take some time, like I said, to get what you want. That's not too bad. That's the best for the way the footage looks, since it's not in HD and it's a little distorted. And I ripped this from my DVD of the movie, so, and I kept it in the original format. I could have put it in HD, but really, what was the point? It's an old movie. It was made in the late 80s, so really there was no HD back then. So it's really kind of pointless to try to put HD on something that really wasn't in HD. But you can enhance it to look pretty close to HD. Blacks. You want it to be a little dark. to bring out that film. Okay. To right about there. And it looks pretty close to this one right here. Except that's a little more brighter. I made it a little bit too bright there. You want to probably down to right there's where you want that. Okay, and then that's it for that. And then what I did to get these black bars on this is I just went to crop. It's pretty much what you're doing is just a solid, if you want to put a solid layer on this or whatever, I'd say just crop it. So let's just go to crop effect, search for that. You can search for it, search for crop. It's in transform, and you want to go to crop this, go all the way down to the bottom where it is, and then you're gonna take the top one to 25%. It looks pretty close to how most movies are today when you see most movies. And the reason why most movies have these black bars is because most movies, when editing them, they will have the time code and stuff on it, information on it, the recording information or whatever. And so most movies, what they do is they just cover it up with these black bars. And they just edit right in here. And you don't see that. That's just typical of most movies, what they do. And then a lot of times they will do this, resize it from, like, take it from here to there and here to there, like this, but without distorting it too much where it doesn't get fuzzy. But since this is not in HD, like I said, I'll just leave it the way it is. And then, okay, that's that. And then next what I did is I added some text. If you want to add text, which is one thing that I didn't show you in my first video, is you go to title. Okay, pick the one you want. The roll, that's for credits, like at the end of the movie, or mostly it's at the end of the movie. The crawl is for like a special effect, transitioning in, crawling in. I say just the default because you can add your own animation with the stopwatches where you want it to happen. And title 3. Okay. And then I'll put, we're on, we want to be on this one. Okay, make sure, and make sure I want it to be on this, on top of this. Add it on top of that. Okay. So the Master Son one doesn't confuse you. Seeing that there. And then we're going to go to the text tool. Just type in whatever. In whatever area until type in whatever you want. So okay, and then you can change it by highlighting it. I would change it to something different. That was a bit too boring on that font. I guess coffee. Okay. And you can also do this if you wanted. Pick a different setting, but it'll change the font. So make sure you pick one of these first, then change the font. See? It'll change it to the setting of that font. So if you wanted this style, but you wanted a different font, did you like the way that style looked? Then pick your font, go to this. Okay. Then what you do is you highlight it, or it already changed. Okay. And I say highlight it just to make sure it changes. Sometimes if it's not highlighted, it won't change. You can pick the color you want. Okay. I want it to be more brighter so you can see it better. Okay, and there's some yellow, so you might want some blue or red. I'll put some red on the outside. Just showing a little bit of red. Okay. And then next, you're going to get the select tool, put it to where you want it, and then resize it to the size you want by doing that or doing this. "97. I'll have it like that. 2 right about there. Okay. And so if that's the way I want it, I'll click OK. I mean, not OK, I'll just click out of it. Click out of it and it'll show up down here. It'll show up in there. And then you're gonna to where you want it, resize it to how long you want it to be. And the next, to get rid of this red and to make it all green so that it'll play smoothly, you're gonna go to sequence and you're gonna render effects in the work area, render the entire work area. I guess since I only have effects on my clips, I'll just render the effects in the work area. And then I'll pause the video and come back after this is done. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Alright. And this is what I did before that. That's what this one looks like a little bit. Based on whatever effects you have for color correcting, it'll all depend. Like this one is a bit better because of the third-party plugins that I have. Also, I'll put a link in the description so you can check them out, see what they are, the magic bullet effects, a little bit on that for both Mac and Windows users. And this is pretty good right here for the basics stuff that Adobe Premiere has. It's not too bad. Brought it out a little bit, didn't change too much of the original, just brought it out to be a little bit closer to HD as much as I can. Get it without distorting it too much or without just a little bit. And I'll show you one more time. A little bit on that. And that's pretty much it on this tutorial. Showing you a little bit some of the stuff that I didn't show you before. If you have any other questions, just let me know. If you want to know something specifically, just ask me on my website, pixelpocketmedia.com. I'm still updating it, but it's pretty much ready to go. It's in the maintenance mode right now, but you can get on there. All I gotta do is just take the maintenance mode off. You can get on there, and all I got left to do on it is changing the background of my couple of my pages, just changing the background on that and getting it to look all the same all around on my website. And then links to other places, I'll put links to that in the description, like my Twitter and my Facebook and Google Plus and all that. And you can check me out there and my other channels that I have, because I have 2 other ones. One's a gaming channel, that one's called Fantasy Art, and then my second channel which is Spinock. I call that my second channel. And I do whatever I do at the film school, I upload there, and also whatever I come up with, like whatever I feel like filming, whatever I come up with, and stuff. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See you later.